So where did we get up to then? Well, firstly, you can see the car is in bits, and I'll come to why that is in a moment. So last time round I'd put the camera in the bumper and I was looking for somebody to come and edit the CCF file for me. Luckily I have found somebody that could do that for me, and I've gone ahead and made those changes. It wasn't as simple as I thought. It's not a case of 3 ticks in a box and you're off and you're good to go. It was a lot more complicated and took well over 3 hours. However, we have made some significant progress. So first thing is that, as you can now see in the wing mirror that's got a little yellow dot, that's the blind spot monitoring. So that's up and running. If we look at the dashboard and I go into the menu mode, and we'll go down to vehicle settings, you can also see that I've got blind spot monitoring ticked on there, and also reverse traffic detection. So those are 2 things that have popped up in the mirror. And for those that know, I also got a mirror that has the home link buttons on the bottom, but that also had auto high beam camera in there, so we've switched that on, and I've tested that and it works. So that's brilliant. That left us with the final one, the reason why we started this journey, and that was to get the rear parking camera installed. So first thing, if I flip the screen, you can now see there is an option there for cameras, and if I press on that, you can see a view out of the rear. Joy of joy. However, the reason why the car is in bits is because when we did the changes to the CCF file and enabled anything, we still didn't have a camera image. We had a blue screen, and that's why my car is in bits. So the problem was it was coming up with a wiring fault on the camera. So you'll see in the last video I plugged it into the rear boot, and as part of doing that, I thought all the wiring would be good to go. However, it wasn't. So the first place was to make sure that it was plugged into the rear of the screen. But actually, as you can tell from the screen, mine is one of the newer systems. If you actually look round the rear, there is just a single cable. So actually there is no camera wiring, as there is on some of the earlier models, to the screen. Where the wiring actually comes from is from this little box which is behind the armrest, which is called the AHU, the audio head unit, and the feed comes in there. Now you'll notice there's 2 blue connectors on the left of the screen. Those are I think one is for the GPS and the other is for the camera, and as you can see, the camera has got a bit of cable plugged into it now, but it didn't have beforehand. So let me just step out and show you behind the seat in terms of what we had to do. So this is the back of my car. Looks horrendous, doesn't it? So we had to pull out all of the panels on the back, because if you can see in the corner there is that brown cable. That is the cable that comes from the boot. However, that's where it stopped and didn't complete the journey to the back of the audio head unit. So I've got a temporary cable in there at the moment. I'm going to get one made up that has the right resistance, and connect those 2 together. But as you can see from the temporary cable that's in, it's now got the camera image. So job is to put the new cable in and put all of this back together. So is it possible to retrofit the camera? Yes it is, but my god, is it a lot of grief. All right, cheers.